never had any experience with children. You don't know much about her or her real disposition, I suppose, and there's no guessing how a child like that will turn out. But I don't want to discourage you, Marilla. I'm not feeling discouraged. When I make up my mind to do a thing, it stays made up. I suppose you'd like to see Anne. I'll call her in. Well, they didn't pick you for your looks, that's sure and certain. She's terrible skinny and homely, Marilla. Come here, child, and let me have a look at you. Lawful heart, did anyone ever see so many freckles? And hair as red as carrots. I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! How dare you call me skinny and ugly? How dare you say I'm freckled and redheaded? You're a rude, impolite, unfeeling woman. How would you like to be told that you're fat and clumsy and probably in the spark of imagination in you? I don't care if I do hurt your feelings by saying so. I hope I hurt them. You have hurt mine worse than they were ever hurt before, and I'll never forgive you for it. Never, never. Anne, go to your room this minute and stay there until I come up. I don't envy your jaw bringing that up, Marilla. You'll have your own troubles with that child. But if you'll take my advice, which I suppose you won't do, although I've brought up 10 children, you'll do that talking to you mentioned with a fair-sized bird switch. I should think that would be the most effective language for that kind of a child. A temper matches her hair, I guess. Well, good evening, Marilla. Whereat Mrs. Rachel swept out and away, if a fat woman, who always waddled, could be said to sweep away, and Marilla, with a very solemn face, betook herself to the east gable. Marilla found Anne face downward on her bed. Anne, get off that bed this minute and listen to what I have to say to you. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? She hadn't any right to call me ugly and redheaded. You hadn't any right to fly into such a fury and talk the way you did to her, Anne. I was ashamed of you, thoroughly ashamed of you. I wanted you to behave nicely to Mrs. Lynde, and instead of that, you have disgraced me. I don't know why you should lose your temper like that, just because Mrs. Lynde said you were red-haired and homely. You say it yourself often enough. Oh, but there is such a difference between saying a thing yourself and hearing other people say it. I suppose you think I have an awful temper, but when she said those things to me, something just rose right up in me and choked me. I had to fly out at her. Well, you made a fine exhibition of yourself, I must say. Mrs. Lynde will have a nice story to tell about you everywhere. Oh, and she'll tell it too. It was a dreadful thing for you to lose your temper like that, Anne. Just imagine how you would feel if someone told you to your face that you were skinny and ugly. You were rude and saucy, and you must go to her and tell her that you are very sorry for your bad temper and ask her to forgive you. I can never do that. You can punish me in any way you like, Marilla. You can shut me up in a dark, damp dungeon and inhabited by snakes and toads, and feed me only bread and water, and I shall not complain. But I cannot apologize to Mrs. Lynde. We're not in the habit of shutting people up in dark, damp dungeons, especially as a rather scarce and hourly. But apologize to Mrs. Lynde. You must and shall, and you'll stay here in your room until you're willing to do it. I shall have to stay here forever then, because I cannot tell Mrs. Lynde I'm sorry. How can I? I'm not sorry. I'm sorry I vexed you, but I'm glad I told her just what I did. It was a great satisfaction. I can't say I'm sorry when I'm not, can I? I can't even imagine I'm sorry. Perhaps your imagination will be in better working order by the morning. You'll have the night to think over your conduct and come to a better frame of mind. That evening,